Alright, here we are at the Bunker Center for the Arts in Kansas City, Missouri, the corner of 19th and Troost. We're going to take a look at this current exhibition, Stupid Cupid, Eros Unbound, a group exhibition in 5 galleries, curated by TJ Templeton. And I'm just going to jump right into the work. This is a piece by Luke Hewling. It's ceramic. Luke is a ceramic figure sculptor from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He received his BFA from Edinburgh University and his MFA from Indiana University. He's taught ceramics and metalsmithing in a variety of settings, including craft schools, universities, and community centers. He's currently living in North Carolina, and he teaches at Sandhills Community College. The theme of this show is relationships, sexuality, gender identification, anything that would kind of loosely fit into a Valentine's Day theme. All of these pieces are for sale. Look at that. And you can buy them on our website, bunkercenter.com. Or, of course, you can make an appointment and come in. We're currently appointment only. But I am the artist in residence, so I'm almost always here. This series is a series of photographs by Angie Jennings. Angie utilizes her photographic skills that she's acquired over 20 years in various styles of photographic medium to depict stories in a single image or series. This series is called Clandestine and Elusive. Framed, these are 20 inches by 16 inches with an image area of 6 inches by 8 inches. Archival pigment prints. If you see anything you like, don't be afraid to contact us and make an appointment. These 3 pieces are by Johnny Nagahide. He's been a fixture in the Kansas City art scene for 30 years, at least. God, yeah, 30? Is that right? That seems awfully long. He doesn't seem that old. He's in the permanent collection at the Nelson. This one is called Man and Wife Team. This piece is called Targeted Fluids. And this is Buy One, Get One Free. He's had one-person shows at the Albert Kemper Museum, Gallery 210 at the University of Missouri St. Louis, Inova in Milwaukee, Haw Contemporary, and the Dolphin Gallery. Like I said, he's in the Nelson Atkins Museum and the Spencer Museum and the Pony Express Museum, along with numerous private collections. Moving along. Wait, I want to do this first. This is a good connection. This is a piece by the delightfully weird Hubbard Savage. I absolutely love this guy. His artist statement kind of speaks for itself, so I want to read that. I never wanted to make art that someone else had already made or mess with the type of art that someone else does or could make better than I could. So I felt a real revelation at 27 when I started to see a unique voice like handwriting in my drawing style. The art that's most often compelling to me deals with the human face. I'm interested in the psychological components of facial recognition and the elusive nature of memory. A good painting can address the face and the hands of a subject and forget about everything else. And the title of this is It Ain't Me, Babe. 11 by 14 inches acrylic and ink on paper. Bob Dylan. It ain't me, babe. I love that. Okay. And these three pieces are by Daniela Fiala. This is oil on canvas. It's about 10 inches by 8 inches. And these next two are acrylic. Daniela does our social media work here at the bunker. She's a resident, and she also dabbles in sculpture, video, music making, photography, graphic design, illustration, classical animation, interior design, you name it. And this is a piece by Jim Adams. He is the owner of the Bunker Center for the Arts. And this is called Interlocking Sprockets. Jim works exclusively in metal, usually with rescued metal. The next pieces are by T.J. Templeton. That's me. This is an oil painting done from observation. It's about 48 inches by 46 inches, I believe. No, 36 by 38. That's right. Yeah, I used to have a fake skeleton hanging from my ceiling. That's what that is. And then here's another shot of those same two chairs. Both of these are oil paintings. The first one was oil on canvas. This is oil on panel. This is a piece by one of my favorite artists, Lauren Douglas. She is out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She has a BA in art and art therapy from Mount Mary College. Her work is influenced by the writings of Thomas Wolfe, the poignancy of passing time and beauty, mystery and whimsy of moonlight are frequent themes. A muted monochrome palette and the use of old photographs are very common in her work. She has a lot of pieces available on our website. These dark brooding pieces by John Slaby of Houston, Texas are 60 inches tall. They're oil on canvas. This piece is called Doctor's Report. This piece is called Poinsettia. I'm going to zoom in on these. Now John, his artist statement really, I don't know, you just got to hear this. In those times when I am in a dark mood, and that is quite often, I think of the existentialists. They likened the human condition to a prison in which each day prisoners are randomly selected for execution. There is no chance of escape, and the only certainty is that one will get out alive. Though I might add that sometimes a prisoner may commit suicide and cheat the executioner. This is the absurdity in which we find ourselves. Art is my way of reaching out into the darkness to hold hands with my fellow prisoners. John Slaby, Houston, Texas. Here's another piece by him. This is called Death and the Maiden. Interestingly, Mr. Slaby has a PhD in engineering. Try to keep that glare off of there. Now, this cheerful little bit is another piece by Daniela Fiala. Really hard to see in the glare though, but it's, there we go. That is polymer clay, human heart. Now, these really caught my eye when they were submitted. When you first look at them, you think, well, you know what? They raise a lot of questions. They look rather primitive in their execution. They look like pages from a children's, storybook. But then you start looking at the details, and it gets pretty deep and it gets pretty weird. So I'm gonna go through and read a little bit about her, and then I'll zoom in on some of the details. Her name is Nancy Morrison. She has an MFA in painting from the Maryland Institute, College of Art, Baltimore, and a BFA in painting from the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. My artwork is about creating the appearance of narratives based on reality, dreams, and the imagination. This symbolic visual world is based on the illustration and on the illusions. I'm reading notes and doing this at the same time. It's a little tricky. Bear with me. Illusions that helps give order to an incomprehensible world. I use a personal symbolic vocabulary and/or words of wisdom that have helped me along to create a visual memory. This allows me to define my own sense of metaphysical aspects of life. I use figures, words, shapes, and forms in combination or separately to create a range of possibilities in the visual vocabulary of artwork. And so, some of these details, again, like I said, it just looks like a child's storybook or something. But then you see these strange things that create more questions, like what's with that little paintbrush sitting in a chair? And you have this bird on her shoulder, but look at the bird in the mirror. Again, delightfully weird. It's a theme in this show, and I love it. So she has all kinds of symbols that she uses. Hieronymus Bosch was big on using the key as a symbol. And this one, where his words are harming the girl. And she has no house, no flower, and the sad paintbrush. But he has money and food and shelter. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This piece is by Shelley Pinto. After graduating from the Art Institute here in Kansas City with a painting degree and working at Hallmark Cards, she co-founded with her husband a handmade paper company called Shizen Design. The company designs and sells screen print papers from India. She uses these papers in her mixed media creations. This is called Dancing Diamonds, 30 inches by 30 inches. And these two knickknacks were made by one of our tenants here in the building, Dark Dove Studios. She makes all kinds of these fun, brightly colored little sparkly beauties. All right, these are by yours truly again. I did these when I was teaching myself how to do screen printing. These are vintage advertisements from 1950s and the 1960s for adult entertainment venues in Kansas City. The Strand Theater is still around, still seedy as ever. On the 3200 block, there was Adult Fun Complex. And these three businesses were part of that. You had the Cat Ballou Lounge, the Jewel Box, and the Yum Yum Striporama. And those buildings are still there, and they are apartments now. And this is a handbill that I took some creative license with. Another one. And then, of course, the Folly Theater here in KC was originally a burlesque house. So these photographs are by Roger Brune. I've known Roger for many years. He was one of the first shows that I ever had the privilege to hang at a gallery called Spodium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Roger did his undergrad and grad work in English and philosophy at the University of Nebraska. Has been a practicing artist for over 50 years. In 1991, the University of Nebraska Press published his award-winning monograph, Dreams in Dry Places, 118 images of historic Nebraska architecture. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. He was one of the featured artists in Picture Nebraska, a documentary about Nebraska photographers produced by Nebraska Educational Television, and was the winner of the 2008 Mayor's Art Award for Lifetime Achievement. He co-curated Evolving Eden, a large photography exhibit of nationally known artists that opened in February in 2009 at the Sheldon Museum of Art. His work is in the permanent collections of the Sheldon, where did I go? I just lost my spot. Of the Sheldon Museum of Art, the Jocelyn Art Museum, the Museum of Nebraska Art, the New Britain, Connecticut Museum of American Art, and numerous private and corporate collections. He lives in Nebraska. I'm also very proud to say that I have a piece of his work in my collection. Again, everything's for sale, bunkercenter.com. Or come in, see them in person. Contact us through our Facebook page. I love that. Contact us through our Facebook page or through our contact form on our website. You can come in and make an appointment, come on in and spend as much time in here as you like. Now these pieces are by E. Lewis. She just had a show here. She's also a tenant here. She's the owner of Jazzy K Productions and co-author of the book titled The Life I Love, National Bestsellers List in 2020, as a matter of fact. And she's currently working on her certification as a national oral storyteller. If you go to our YouTube channel, you will see her artist talk and feel my pain for having to follow that. She really is a professional storyteller, and she's amazing. So she set the bar for that. Just, I don't know how we're ever going to match that. But she's a textile artist, and she does some really amazing things, and we're lucky to have these three here. These are blockheads. Blockheads number 4, blockheads number 7 by Brian Hartley. This is glass that he has worked in a wood-fired kiln that he built himself, mounted onto wood. He had an amazing solo exhibition here some time back. Hope to get him back in here someday. He's internationally collected, travels all over the country doing installations in people's homes and in businesses. These little 3 dots are his signature. amazing amount of time and skill involved in making these things happen. All right. Moving right along. This is Moonshine by Dan Fraser. It's an oil on canvas, 24 by 18. She's out of Houston, Texas. These two pieces are by Hilary Brooks. The first one is Fall. It's watercolor on paper, 30 by 24. Trying to keep that glare out of there for you. Hilary Brooks comments on the female identity through the theatrical perspective of the Baroque and the Rococo. Painting and sculpture reimagine the mundane or unattractive parts of a woman's life and turn them into traditional forms of feminine beauty. The use of objects such as tampons and underwear, things we don't talk about in polite conversation, embrace a woman's everyday life and comment on the absurdity of the stigma attached. The use of watercolor captures the vulnerability of femininity while simultaneously flirting with the line between empowerment and exploitation. And this piece is called Toot Bernie. It's watercolor on paper as well, 32 by 24. When I met Hilary, it was at the Kansas City Artists Coalition years, 4 years ago maybe. And she had this brilliant headdress that was made out of tampons. It was absolutely just brilliant. And I fell in love with it, and she was just charming and clever. And I told her, I was like, one of these days I'm going to have a gallery and I'm going to put you in it. And that's why those are here today. Now these three pieces are by Terry Pollock. She's a popular figure here in the Kansas City art scene. This is Iris 1, 2, and 3. They are archival pigment on paper, digital paintings. She studied at the Kansas City Art Institute and got her bachelor's in fine arts in 1996. She continued her studies in Veracruz, Mexico, Veracruz University, where she learned the skill of fresco painting. This is an oil on canvas by Jana Duca. Jana had an exhibition here not too long ago. And somebody's at the door. Can you believe that? Let's go answer it.
Oh, your appointment only?
Yes.
Oh, could I?
Go for it. Yep.
Oh, cool.
I'm doing a recording, so I don't have a mask on. Sorry. Okay, so this is a piece called They Theirs, oil on canvas, 18 by 24. As I was saying, she had a big exhibition here. This is the catalog. In her own words, my paintings are about connections or lack thereof between people and the world. I paint the psychological space between people and the space between words. The push and pull of the paint that causes the background to encroach upon the figures and take away pieces of them, or that causes the figure to dissolve and scatter into the environment, describes the figure's psychological state. The title is They Theirs, oil on canvas, 18 by 24. We have several of her pieces in our inventory, so if you want to come by and see all of them, you know where to find them. And then this guy right here, Jeremy Bina. He's one of our tenants. He's also the person responsible for the amazing murals in the front of the building. They are, I would describe them as mixed media. He's got oil paint, spray paint, and acrylic usually worked into these. And his artist statement, short and sweet, just said, "I'm just trying to have fun." Such tiny hands. These three paintings are by Susan Kiefer. Susan was a tenant here. She's since moved on to a different studio space where she's doing a different kind of artwork now. While she was here, she worked on these very elegant, very detailed floral paintings. Sometimes they were on these geometric shaped backgrounds, these abstracts. And eventually the flowers went away, and now she's working specifically with just the geometric abstract shapes. This piece is 36 by 36. This one is 30 by 40. And this is 36 by 36. She's currently represented by Cerbera Gallery here in Kansas City. This piece is by Belle Pilar Fleming. It's textile. The fabric. This is so amazing. The fabric has been screen printed on and lithograph printed on, and then there are found objects sewn in. Got some human hair there. A social security card. Notes to each other. The title of this piece is Friends, Roommates, Lovers. Lithography and screen print on fabric, machine piecing, and found objects. It's 40 inches by 50 inches. It is for sale. If you're interested, come inside here and take a look. You got to see it in person. She has a show here in April. Her and Bree Murphy are going to do a collaborative thing here in one gallery, and then they're each going to take a gallery themselves. This piece is by Thayer Nicholas Granston Bray. It's entitled Sleep Close. It's cast paper sculpture with brush and ink. It's about 6 foot by 4 foot and about 10 inches tall. It can be either displayed laying down on the floor like this, or it can be hung on the wall. This piece is by Anita C. Young. It's called Smile. We have a few of her pieces in our collection. She had a solo exhibition here about a year or so back. I think it kind of speaks for itself. Her oil paintings are very very detailed, very skillfully rendered. She works in the mental health industry, and it shows. It's a common theme in her work. Two more pieces by Daniela Faella called Paper Flowers. They're made from recycled materials. This piece is called Embrace. It's by Glenn Meese. Sumi ink on illustration board. It is 13 by 15. Another piece by E. Lewis. So hard to see that with all the glare. And these are two pieces by Wolf Brock. And these are his quirks. He has a series of these. This isn't the first time Bertrand has claimed to be the real victim in someone else's divorce. They have these clever little comments of each character that he makes. There's a really good YouTube video of him too, where he talks about this. So these are jeweler's loops and tiny ceramic heads that he makes. And Maria's idea of a sexy yet comfortable outfit is a Snuggie with a hole in it. I absolutely love those. He has a show coming up this year. And I got a few more things to show you. Coming right in here. We acquired this piece today from Wes Casey. Mask of the Sea Witch, steel, fabric, and shells. Those are freshwater shells that he actually went to the lake and picked. He and his wife picked these out of the mud. There's 421 seashells. The fabric he acquired from Scraps KC. He's just absolutely a brilliant artist, and we're really lucky to have him. We have several pieces by him in our collection. Yeah, these are pieces by Kira Norton. Some anthropomorphized sea mammals. Kira is a Kansas City artist. Kira got her MFA in ceramics at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Her BFA was at Ohio State. She also has a BA in anthropology. A few more, and then we're almost done here. Didn't want to skip this. If you go to TallulahDesignStudio.com, you'll see more amazing jewelry like this. She's currently operating out of the bunker. She's one of our tenants. And this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. It is copper fused with sterling silver and sterling silver findings. The stone is a garnet, and the title is Be Still My Heart. And if you go to TallulahDesignStudio.com, you see the rest of her work. Did you hear me? I said TallulahDesignStudio.com. All right. Now, let's see here. Anything I'm forgetting? Okay, these are really hard to video, but these are both by Jim Adams. The one on the left is Pagan Monday, Rescued Metal. The one on the right is Untitled. Now, you've obviously seen some other things that are here in the gallery, but that's not part of the show, so if you want to come see it, you need to come take a look at us in person. We're in the corner of 19th and Troost, bunkercenter.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And thank you very much.